let's move on to breakfast clubs, because apparently that's what's being offered. They'll be opened across 750 primary schools tomorrow, with the government promising to tackle child poverty across England. The Education Secretary has backed the scheme. That's Bridget Phillipson, saying that it will make a really big difference to supporting children's life chances. OK, joining me now, policy analyst at the Taxpayers Alliance, Shimeon Lee. I hope I said that right. Is it, Shimeon?
Yes,
is that right?
Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Now, listen, I'm just checking. Breakfast clubs, I've got two children, one very small. I couldn't care for breakfast clubs, only on the odd occasion. I'm wondering, do people really want this?
Well, it's a very attractive headline for the government. Most people will agree that children from deprived backgrounds should get support. But that's not what this scheme actually does. It applies to all pupils in England, including those from wealthy families. And if you look at this pilot scheme of the 750 schools, less than 40% of participants in the scheme will actually be from deprived backgrounds, meaning a majority will not be from deprived backgrounds. And it's not fair for taxpayers to be subsidizing wealthy families' grocery bills. This scheme really needs to be a lot more targeted at those who really need it.
Exactly. Like, I have no problem with them providing breakfast clubs for people who are less wealthy or whatever than me, so they can send their children there. But if they really cared about people, then they might consider just limiting it there or giving free after-school clubs. Surely there's more of a call for that, so people can go to work.
Well, yes, in fact, actually, if we look at what already exists, there's already a means-tested program called the National Schools Breakfast Club Program that targets funding at schools. Targets funding at schools with high percentage of deprived students. Now, Labour should really be focusing on improving these existing means-tested programs instead of chasing headlines by starting all these new ones.
Yeah, what is the point? And most people, so even though it's open to everybody, not everybody needs a breakfast club. And I wouldn't take advantage of it. It would just mean I'd have to get up even earlier to get my kids to school. Now, I could be a beneficiary of this, but I would rather that they focused on people who actually need it instead of spending my money on this. Has there been any statistics or anything that is done to suggest that this is a really crucial policy?
Well, you're absolutely right that a lot of parents actually don't take up these breakfast clubs when they're implemented. In fact, if you look at existing breakfast clubs, they actually have quite a low take-up rate, something like 20% in England. That means up to 80% of parents aren't actually using the service. And if you look at a similar program of free lunches, free school meals, we see that the government is actually not very good at spending this money. In fact, they spend more than parents save. So parents actually save around £230, but the government spends around £430 per pupil. That means £200 of value is just disappearing right there. It's cheaper to just give vouchers directly to parents.
Just sounds ludicrous again. Well, Shimeon Lee, thank you very much. Really good to talk to you. He's a policy analyst at the Taxpayers Alliance.